Hello everyone, Nathan here with part 2 of creating textures in Blender for my test, mainly just how to unwrap them. If you watched video 1, you'll remember me saying I like to create a cube, put my meshes inside of. This is rendered just as a wireframe, and that you set up under the Object tab here, and you just do display wire, and a maximum draw type is wire. And then anything you build and put inside of this box, you know for sure will fit in the space in the game. So what we're looking at here, a barrel. It has 2 pieces to it actually. Well, 3, but technically it's only 2 objects. We have these metal bands that kind of hold it all together, and then the wood of the barrel. The bottom does not have the little lip into it like the top has. I figured you don't see the bottom. No point in wasting those vertices if I don't need to. So, how would we unwrap this? Well, let's actually jump over to the UV editing again. And we'll tab in. Oh wait, I didn't reset that. I have done this model before. So currently it has some unwrapping on it. There, it's cleared out. For this metal, I'm going to cheat on this one. I'm just going to do Smart UV Project. Okay, and this is what it gives me. And you know what? That is fine, because this portion of the mesh is going to be turned into just something really small. The idea isn't that this is going to be very high resolution. It just needs to be a different material than the wood is. I want to change this to face select so I can, actually, I think I can just do that and then, yep, Control++ to select more, scale it down. Like I said, this, I'm not worried about the quality of this texture part because it's just going to kind of be a rusty metal color. So we'll pull this over into GIMP and we'll just kind of throw something together that it's a brown color. I'll show you how to do noise so we can kind of give it that texture or the pixelated feel that Minetest has because of the texture resolution that it uses. Just going to throw these over each other. Noticing a problem, it's pulling these vertices on the unwrap, which is going to lead to deformed parts. I want to avoid that if possible. There should be a way to disable those. It doesn't seem to want me to do that. What am I doing wrong here? Oh, definitely don't want that. I thought. Well, wait. Now they let me do it. Okay, I messed some things up there. Reselect everything. There we go. So I guess we want to do the individual face select there. And that way these aren't super tall, or super small rather, in light of the other ones. So those are just there. I will fine-tune their location later, because these are 2 different objects. You can have multiple objects and export them as one OBJ. That does work without any errors. So now we want to do what with this? Well, we're going to want the lid. Shift, Alt, and right click will do a selection, or a loop. So we're going to mark a seam here, because we do want the lid to be something that the texture runs opposite directions in. And even though you're not going to really see the bottom here too much, unless you dig out the dirt from underneath it and look up at it, let's go ahead and mark the bottom seams as well. And then I'm going to actually mark each one of these planks. That's going to take just a second. So I will edit this out. Last seam there. If you look, it now has every single one in rep. Let's just unwrap this right away, see what we get. Ooh. Well, here's our top, and that's the bottom. What in the world happened here? Oh, because we didn't do anything with this top rung. You know what? Let's go ahead and select that ring. And we want to mark a seam on that. And let's go ahead and do the same with that. Mark seam. And let's unwrap it now, see what we get. That's looking better. Okay, so we have these pieces here. This is the inner lip. We have the top and the bottom still. This is the very top lip. And then these are all of the side boards, if you will, that are going around there. So, here's what we're going to do. Select one full board there. And we're not going to stack them perfectly on top of each other, because we want to allow for some variation here. So we're just going to grab these. Boop, 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 boop. And kind of throw them in place. Now what this allows us to do is get more resolution per face on the mesh without making the size of the texture just super huge. Of course, smaller is better. Runs better on servers, runs better on your computer, runs better on everything. Did not want to do that. The top and the bottom, let's pop those right on top of each other here. And we're going to rotate that just like so. This is also a top, so let's go ahead and select all these up. And you guessed it, throw that right up on top. Let's give it some random rotation to it as well. The random rotation just kind of helps sell the idea that these are all different pieces, and that it's not just the exact same wood being used over and over. And then this inside lip, you know what? I'll just throw it there too. You're not going to really see it that much. Okay, and then... oh, I don't know what I just did, but I didn't want to do it. H, select everything. Some of those make them larger. Always want to kind of get these as close to the edges as you can, so you're not wasting any space. So we've got like that. Whoa, whoa, whoa. UVs, export UV layout, survival barrel.png. That works for me. I'll export the layout. And it just gave me a little pop-up and I didn't pay any attention to it. Let's do that again. Oh, maybe it was saying it's... oh, it wasn't giving me a pop-up, it was giving me a tooltip. Okay, so jump into... I honestly have no idea where I saved that, actually. I'm assuming in my home folder. No, I don't want to open anything as root. Man, I hate not having a mouse. Okay, I don't know where I saved that. However, it's not a problem, because I wasn't going to do anything with that one anyways. I'm going to open up the existing image that I created already. How do we do that here? It's been so long. Image open. Okay. No, we don't want that. We want to go to models, textures, and we should have survival barrel.png here. Let's open that. And there we go. That is... wow. That's our texture. I evidently unwrapped the last one a little differently. It looks like... why is this not working? It worked a second ago. Might probably be connected. Nope. Okay, well, I don't know what I've done. It won't let me select more by hitting Control+. But it looks like last time I did something like that, but I don't know how. And I had these rotated completely different direction. Not going to worry about that. You know what? We're just going to throw this back where we had it before. I think we'll be okay. This isn't permanent. I hope. Okay, so we go back to the previous window. Let's flip this over to material view. Oh, it's still not showing anything. Oh, it's because we have to reset that up like we did last time. We have this. We're just going to open up the same image here, survival barrel, and say, well, if I could scroll here, or pan rather. I really need to invest in a new mouse. And we'll just scale that up so we kind of get that rust image in there. And let's jump to default and give these guys both the material. I hope they're both using the same. Yep. And then give them a texture of an image. And let's select the image as survivalbarrel.png. And let's throw that to UV mapping. UV mapping. Put this to material. Wow, yeah, that looks really terrible. I did a way better job last time. But there we have it. I think my planks are all put on backwards. We will export this as an OBJ. But now, let's make sure we have both meshes selected, because we don't want to be exporting that cube that I'm using as my bounding box. OBJ, and we're going to jump into models here. I am not going to call it survival barrel.obj though. I'll just call it barrel, because I don't want to mess up my good mapping on it. And we will export. Now when you export through Blender, I thought I had that open in a window, but maybe I closed it. When you export, you will get a MTL file. Just go ahead and delete those. Don't need them at all. And then let's just get this so it sets up. It should be in nodes here. We have a barrel. Yep. We're going to just change that to be capital B barrel without survival. Everything else is already set up. I'm assuming you guys all know how to set up your textures on your meshes. We're kind of just looking at how to do some other aspects of them right now. And let's just do give me survival barrel and pull up our inventory image. Or not inventory, but our inventory of it here. And then let's place this, and voila, we have a barrel. Now, obviously the slats on this should have really been rotated, because now it looks like the boards are going crosswise, and they should be running up and down, because theoretically that's how a real wooden barrel would be made. But as you'll notice, oh, you know what? I told you I was going to show you how to make this rust, and I didn't. Let's launch up GIMP real quick, and I'll show you how to do that. Just exit that. GIMP may still be running. It is. Sweet. Okay, let's delete that black layer. Throw a paintbrush on here. Let's take this. Oh, I need a larger brush. Much larger brush. There we go. Alright, so we've got this brown, but we want to give some variation to the texture. So let's select the brown, which is a really bad selection, but whatever, it's alright. And then we're going to do filters, and we want to do render, I believe it is. And then we want to do clouds, is it? I think it's clouds. Solid noise, I believe. Let's do, that doesn't really matter. Put the detail up a little higher, I guess. Doesn't really affect anything. And hit OK, and I did that entirely wrong. Should have done a new selection first. Okay, let's make the new selection. And then let's deselect everything. GIMP is not my main work tool. I usually use other software. Not to say that it's not open source software, but I prefer using Krita myself. But it's really not optimal for this. And then we just do a mixing with multiply or something of that ilk. In this case, we can do multiply, grain extract, gives some really cool, but not at all what we're looking for. Value doesn't do anything. Difference, not exactly what I would think we're looking for. Dissolve. Usually I will just do like multiply or darken only. Something along those lines. That one actually isn't too bad, soft light. But that's usually what I just do to add some extra detail to the texture. In the last one, of course, this is a 1024 by 1024 item. Usually I keep my scale inch. Usually I keep mine to about 256 by 256, which when we scale that down and then zoom in, unless the texture is quite a bit grainier, if you want to make the texture even grainier, all you have to do is scale it larger. Probably want to lock your scale here, so you scale proportionately. Scale that, and then we have something that has a lot more of a grainy look to it, which is probably what you're going for if you're trying to do that. So that's basically how I achieved that rust look. I used a little different colors, probably a different noise that I rendered in, but exact same concept. Just gotta change it in that. It's not important. Alright, so this is video 2. Video 3, forthcoming. It's going to be on something a lot more detailed, so it's going to take me a little more time to put together and get out to you guys. So that will probably be another couple days. Sorry. Anyways, thanks for watching. And yeah, hopefully this was helpful.